Good morning, everyone. This is Sibbe Bladh. I know you've been missing my morning talks a lot, but for different reasons I didn't have the chance to record anything lately. The microphone broke by a little accident, and now I'm trying the new microphone, and I hope it will do the work. It's exactly the same model. Time, the concept of time. There's many different views on what time is. Some say that time don't exist, and this is true from the point of view of eternity, that we live in a limitless space of eternity. And of course time can't exist in eternity, because eternity is eternal and time is periodic, ephemeral. Time is bound to the creatures. Each creature has its own time. Each planet has its own time. Each galaxy has its own time. Each star, each sun has its own time. So time exists for the separate entity, for the individual. There's a time span. So time exists subjectively. We all know the year has its seasons, as well as life has its seasons, and this we call time. What the New Agers refer to as time, there is no time, that is infinite space, infinite potential. But the creature haven't reached that yet. The creature don't have infinite time, and therefore infinite time don't exist for the creature. It's a limited time. Some say that time moves in a circle that always repeats itself in an infinite motion. And this can't be true either, because then no evolution would ever happen. No new things would ever happen. It would just repeat over and over again. But checking the cosmic, the universe and its forms of energy, we know the spiral form. In a spiral form, you can move in a circle, and you can reach the same point as before, but you're always going to be a step higher every lap you make around the circle. And the spiral, it goes through all life, from DNA level to the spirit of man, onto greater vortexes in the universe. It's spiraling. So if we go by the decree that as above so below, it's the spiral form that time moves in. Time is a spiral, possibly growing exponentially by the Fibonacci series or the golden ratio. That's how the physical grow anyway. But spiral is more feasible than a circle, a closed circle. That is not time. Time is a spiral, continually evolving and reaching new heights of knowledge, of insight, of development, of evolution. you have to remember that the world has a purpose, and something that goes round and round and round without ever reaching anywhere don't have any purpose. So this teaching is purposeless and it's primitive. Many of the New Agers, they stick by this slogan. It's a slogan, it don't hold any value. A scientist in the university could tell you more about the nature of time than any of these New Age gurus. Because this is science. The universe is science, and life is science, the science of energy. And time is a vehicle for energy to elevate. And in its greatest sense, time might be infinite, but then we borrow a little bit time from the universe in order to grow new vibes, new power, new energy, and more time. We are the developers of light in the universe. All creatures are bound to their sun. The sun is the divine center in a galaxy, and all life flows from and to the sun. The creatures actually feed the sun with their energy, as well as the sun feed the creatures with its energy. So that's why sun worship was big in the old times. The sun was God. That was the giver of life, the light. Then we have the black sun, the greater suns that give birth to small suns. The whole universe is family. We are interconnected, link, a chain of family that moves through subsequence, reaction. Every action gives a reaction, and life keeps growing into the infinite, vast space. And time is the teacher, time is the healer, time is divine. For me, time exists, time is God. I'm not New Ager, I'm realist. Time is an important concept in my life. I often travel through memories of different times and different feelings, and then time becomes the mystical dimension for the spiritual traveler. Time heals all wounds. Time reshape, recreate, make new of everything. Time make us forget, and time make us remember. Time is an important aspect of life. Time is, you could say it's a god, it's a deity that you have to worship. And by celebrating birthdays, it's a kind of time worship that we notice age, and it's important for us to mark the special occasions in the year. Also in the heathen traditions, the time is extremely important. That is what the sun cross, the sun wheel, is a symbology for time. And at the cardinal points we have festivities, rituals, and spiritual practice that is connected to time. And of course, time is different in different parts of the world, depending on where you are, towards the equator. In the north, there's a big change in sun hours in the year. So time is a different concept over here. And this can be noticed by the Muslims who keep their fasting month. It can be very problematic for them, because if it's in the summer time, the sun is up almost 24 hours a day. So each tradition is also bound to its region and to its position on the globe. So even on Earth, time is not the same. Time is subjective. When the people in Lapland speak about time or sun in the summer, where they have 24 hours of sun, it's not the same as the equator, who has an almost even level all around the year of sun hours. So it's different languages, different ways of understanding time and use time in practice. But I think mostly the New Agers are very silly that speak about these concepts that they don't understand. It's easy for them to just grab onto a slogan and repeat this. They are repeaters. They are not really enlightened by knowledge. They are repeaters that repeat what certain people said that probably didn't understand either the concept of time. So when you say there is no time, actually you say there is no meaning, there is no God, there is no nothing, there is no infinite potential. But we who are smarter than that, wiser than that, we respect time a lot. Like I said, time is the teacher, life is the school. And each year you have finished in this school, you become greater and wiser and more powerful all the time. So time do that. Time facilitates this growth. And without time, nothing would be. If we didn't have time to do what we're supposed to do, nothing would be. Nothing would exist. So clearly this is bullshit. But there are timelessness also. We can reach timelessness when we are deeply in love, euphoric, when we reach in a universal state of consciousness that has been here forever and will continue forever. Then we reach a timelessness. Maybe it's this that the original guru was intending to say to the students. But the students are quick to catch up on phrases of words. So they never really understood the true concept, what the guru was trying to teach them. That when you become enlightened, when you reach full divinity, you are timeless and immortal. You have transcended physical life and you will live forever. Your consciousness will never die. Your sun will never set. Time is now your best friend. Time used to be your worst enemy sometimes in many lives. But when you reach the ultimate, the infinite, ultimate potential, then time is your only friend forever, your best friend. So we have to show respect to time. It's explained in many traditions how the ages, the yugas, are a greater cycle. We have the small year, which is 12 months. And then we also have the great year, which is 25,000 years. So these cycles of time are whirling around each other, inside each other. And without knowing about this, how time moves, you become a stupid new ager that just look at the sky and said everything is one, everything, there's no time, I am God. Which is heavy confusion. We can study the heavens, we can study the ages. This is not a mystery, it's ignorance that make people deny time. And obviously there is so much stupidity amongst these people. Pythagoras, which was the father of the modern European civilization, when you joined his mystery school, you had to shut the fuck up for 5 years and listen before you could utter a word. This is how important learning is. To be able to speak, you have to listen first and learn. And this concept is nothing. The New Agers, they love to run their fucking mouth all the time about everything and nothing. Mostly complete nonsense. Complete bullshit most of the time, with small glimpses of realizations. So to be able to be silent for years on end and listening and learning is important before you start speaking. I say like Terence McKenna, I didn't become this flaky by myself. It was hard work. I've read hundreds of books. I've listened to thousands of hours of lecture. I traveled around the world and I experienced everything myself, all the spiritual stages within myself till completion. So when I speak about my experience. I'm not speaking about concepts that someone planted in my brain to make money. I'm speaking true, real knowledge about life. And that's why I say time is important. And to come into this set, you have to sit down and listen first to the elders. Those who have gone through all the stages, all the processes of gaining wisdom. Then you might speak within these circles. But the world has always been hostile to knowledge. The philosophers were killed. They were forced to poison themselves. They were executed. Mathematicians were stabbed on the beach by the soldiers while they were calculating big mysteries. The world hates knowledge. They are envy. They want to shut it up because they want to be the smart one, the one who speaks and that everybody listens to, because this is prestige. This gives them a sense of importance, that they have a position in the human collective. But it's better to have something to say than to just simply let your fucking mouth run. And I see these New Agers, they develop also different stupid techniques for spirituality. Spirituality need no technique except for living pure, eating pure, loving pure, thinking pure, and be a natural, spontaneous creature. That's all it takes. And then of course push the limits what a human can do with his body, with training, with experiences. But apart from that, mostly of these things are foolish. It should be natural occasions when people gather and connect their energies. They synchronize their energies. Their breathing, their spirit vibrate together. And you don't have to say shit. You don't have to do shit. You just have to stay together, preferably in powerful geophysical spots that activate the electromagnetic energy which flows through the beings, and that would enhance and multiply the force many times. So they're wasting their time and they fantasize about some grand illusions that they think you need, while in fact you have to stay with both feet on the ground and be natural, be solid, be normal. Things are very mystic anyway. You don't have to make this thing more mystic than it is. Try to stay normal. And of course, a lot of extrovert people are in these groups. People that live on the outside, narcissists, psychopaths, people whose whole sense of self-worth is from reflection from the surroundings, from the other people. They have no true power in themselves. They're just mirroring, and they thrive, they live on the reactions they get. So they create an external, superficial setting, and now they start to call this spirituality. And for all us native peoples, this is laughable. This is nothing. You could beat your drum and sing on a fireside behind your house, and you have all what you need. You don't have to travel and meet a lot of other confused people and do confused things. It will never give you the peace, the shanti in your soul. It's better to keep it simple, right? Don't overcomplicate it for yourself, so you stumble and fall into the nets of confusion. Because there's plenty of confusion in this world. Maya, illusions. We are constantly bewitched by illusion. And our job is to work against that, and that is to normalize. And not to enhance the psychosis, not to enhance the fantasies. So it's very infantile and childish what these people are doing. And just like religion, at a certain point it blocks personal development. It blocks spiritual energy. It blocks spiritual realization. And they create their own frequency of ignorance and illusion. And before you get out of that setting, you're not going to experience anything real. Possibly this will be one of your tests, to understand that this is not right and get yourself out of there. That might be the lesson you're learning. And all the bullshit that these people spoke, it just don't mean anything more than it was trying to trick you to stay. So we have to be smart and wise and humble, more than to try to be smart asses that think we know everything and want to teach everybody. As far as I'm concerned, every human has the potential for infinite wisdom, infinite understanding, and realization is within each one. Starting with all the creatures with spine, and when the power has grown enough, you reach the Akasha Register, the Mimer's Well, the Book of Life. And your consciousness is connected to the collected consciousness of the universe and the memory of the universe. And then you get super consciousness, divine consciousness, and you can create whatever you want. You can understand whatever you put your mind to, and you will develop this. You will surpass the geniuses of the past. This eternal memory is divine, and we should worship this. And it's accessible for us. It's the purpose, it's the meaning of our lives to reach this stage. So have fun with the confused New Agers. Make love, drink tea, speak all your fantastic fantasy, but in the end, take care of your own destiny. Practice like Buddhism, meditation, so you can die, so you can liberate yourself from the samsara, from the wheel of death and rebirth. And don't tie yourself to this wheel, don't nail yourself to this wheel with all the other confused creatures. Make use of your time. Ride time. Make time your friend and become eternal time. Alright, message for today. Bless.